Hey, this is Pat, and today we are checking out the all-new HJC i91 Modular helmet. Now, the i91 is going to be sitting about midway in their modular options within HJC's line, very reminiscent of the Arfa line, going down into more of an entry-level price point for modular riders. Anybody out there touring or commuting that wants a modular helmet, you should take a peek at this HJC as your consideration. They have the F100, which is a fully reversible. They have some Arfa 90 helmets that are modular as well, with a little bit more sport attack into them. They also have the C91, which is going to be a polycarb style, but just like that one, the i91 is a polycarb main construction. It is coming in around the $250 to about $265 price point, depending on which size and color you are choosing, because this helmet does go all the way up to a 5 extra large. So if you have a large cranium, if you have a huge brain, and that's the reason why your head is so big, then you have an option within HJC's line like they have offered in the past. It's nice to see them getting up into those more obscure sizes to help out riders that just want to protect their head. But it is a polycarb main construction throughout. It's a polycarb composite. And you're looking at 4 shell sizes: extra small to small, medium to large, and then extra large to 2 extra large are the main shells, but then they also toss in the 4th for that 3 extra large up to 5 extra large sizing, with 4 EPS liners across the entire range. Now, one thing I will call out, it is a DOT only helmet, which is something that we've given HJC flack for in the past. HJC, if you are listening, the US market wants the ECE 2206 safety rating in all of their helmets. They want something a little bit more of a step up. So if you are looking at future versions or bringing it over from Europe, just like the ECE 2206 version over there, we'd love to see it as a combo here in the US. Comes in at 4 pounds in the medium shell size, so just keep that in mind. It is bit heavier compared to other full face helmets out there, but in the modular sector, it's right in the middle ground of that. We've seen helmets go up to 4 pounds, 4 ounces. We've seen modulars be down around the 3 pound, 12 ounce. So it's kind of right there in the middle, still on the heavier side of the lid though. When you're looking at the internal shape, it is going to be an intermediate oval head shape. So it's a little bit longer front to back than it is side to side. Very true to size. When it comes to it, a medium in all helmets. This medium that I've been testing out fits me spot on. The one thing I will call out is that in the open position, it's a nice relaxed true to size fit. When you do close the modular down at the chin bar, it does get very tight around the jawline. So if you're someone that likes a little bit more comfort around that jawline, you might want to look elsewhere. Or if you just have a more pronounced jaw, just keep that in mind. It does get very tight when you close the lid off because it's using a lot of material in the cheek pads as well as the shell, which I'll talk to when I get into the interior of the helmet. But again, all in, when you're looking at the features for the price point, it kind of matches up. I like that they're using that 4th shell size that their catalog is calling out. I like that they're adding that in for those higher shells, so you're not just wearing a 2 extra large that has actually the same shell as the 5X. So keep that in mind. Very easy system to use with the modular release tab in the front that just lifts up, and then you can run it in the 3/4 position and actually have it up if you're at a stoplight, if you're stopping for gas or anything, with that drop down sun visor still in there inside of it. You do get vents down at the chin bar. You get that vent in there that does go to the face shield. It also goes to the face to help cool off. You also get an intake vent on a slider system up top that you can go ahead and slide forward and back. Pretty easy to use with a gloved hand. I didn't have any problems moving it around. It's something that glides pretty easily. A little bit loud when you open and close it, but it is something that doesn't add too much noise inside the helmet like we've seen from other HJCs out there. And it does have an exhaust port built in underneath of the spoiler in the back of the helmet. It is technically 2 holes, but they're so close together, I'll just refer to that as one exhaust port, just a Venturi effect, pulling out all the hot air from the inside of the helmet. As new fresh air flows to the inside, it's going to help suck it out. And I do like that they're actually incorporating it into a spoiler style design just to help keep that turbulence down, so it's not going to give any buffeting while you're going down the road. So really cool. One thing I'll call out at the side too, it is designed for their smart HJC system, which is a Bluetooth system that they offer from Sena that you can go ahead and install it into the side of the helmet. It's going to have the routing inside of the lid as well for the speakers, for the microphone, everything like that, which we'll see in just a minute. But you just pop these side pods off and the HJC system fits on the side. I love that they've redone the name a few years ago because it used to be called the Smarth, and I don't know who thought that was a good idea within their line, but they're just calling it the Smart HJC system on the side, partnered with Sena for the Bluetooth technology built into it. When we're looking at the face shield, it's not a fully flat face shield, but it's optically correct. It's not going to be something that distorts it. And one thing I do like is that they're actually using 2 lift tabs on each side to go ahead and lift it up, whether it's your throttle hand or your clutch hand. You can go ahead and come to a stop and lift that up, just get a little bit of airflow with a single plastic tab, which you can kind of see at the center, that locks it down. I am someone who looks for a metal snap at the front just to give it a little bit more longevity in there, so you're not something you want to be yanking on because you could snap that tab off. But these shields from HJC are on the cheaper side when it comes to price points, so you can get that replaced if it does go ahead and break on you. The drop-down sun visor is one of my favorite ones on the market today. HJC started doing something where it adds, I can actually move it forward and back. When it's in this lowest position, it actually pushes out about 3 to 5 millimeters just to give a little bit more space at the bridge of the nose and have that move out. It's about 80 to 85 millimeters in length in total for the drop-down sun visor. It is dark smoke included in the box, but I like that they're adding that little push out. Anybody who wants it even lower, he tends to hit the tip of the nose, so it pushes it out just to give a little bit more space and close that gap along that breath guard built into the front of the shell. So really cool. Love that HJC does it. I actually would love to see HJC use it in all of their drop-down sun visors across the line, because it is a really cool piece of technology. And in the drop-down sun visor realm, there's not too much innovation other than just making it either darker or a different color or making it a little bit longer. So I love that they're kind of innovating and adding that little kick out on there. So kudos to HJC and whoever came up with that idea over there. Lifting it up and opening up the interior, we can actually see it is a double D-ring system for closure, and you can see the cheek pads themselves actually house most of the straps for the double D-ring. I'll take this out real quick and get that one in there. I'll actually get the dark smoke visor out of the way. Pull out the interior. It does have some reflective. This is what I was talking about when it's a little tighter in the jaws, that you can see just how thick and wide, I should say, the cheek pad is. That helps with reducing airflow into the helmet, so it's not going to cause any turbulence or noise or anything like that, or excessive noise. So you do get that benefit in there, which I love seeing from brands. We see it on a lot of modular helmets, or I should say touring style helmets, just because it helps reduce that. Most touring riders are going for longer extended periods of time on the road, so you want to remove all that fatigue from the wind noise. You should be wearing earplugs anytime you're riding your motorcycle, especially on the highway, but you get that added benefit. We've seen it from Shoei, we've seen it from all the big touring brands out there, just adding that thickness in the cheek pads. So I'll snap out the other side, and then we can take a peek at the top liner. I do like I said, I mentioned the reflective in the base. Anything that you can do to add a little bit of pop of reflective just helps the rider stand out there. So kudos to HJC for installing those in there. It's a brow mounted top liner, really nice contour to the top liner. It's a 3D mesh design in there, but at the front you can see brow mounted, so it's not going to push any pressure points into your head and like snaps can do. So I like that they're just using that brow mount, and then you have snaps at the rear, but it's lower than the back of the head, so it's not going to be something that digs into your head at all. Looking at the interior, when I slide this over, you can see those channels for that HJC Smart system. You can actually see all the channels for the wiring and everything like that. But again, it's about a 45 to 50 millimeter speaker pocket, so you can install any of Sena or Cardo's speakers out there if you're just bringing your own system to the market. I'm not a fan of predetermined what Bluetooth system I want to use. I want to bring my own, which you can easily do. You can either adhesive mount it or snap it on the side, and then use those routing points to actually just put in the system in there. So something you can easily install those systems in there. And when you look at the top liner, you can see very good channels in the EPS. That's going to help that airflow that we talked about in the beginning with all the vents in the front, help that airflow go in around your head, up and over the liner, and then exit out the back of the helmet with ease. So I like when brands add in these channels in there. It's just a creature comfort that you don't know you need until you've been riding for a few years. Any helmet that doesn't have these in there tends to have stagnant air inside the helmet. Gets hotter on hot days, but when you want that fresh airflow going through, you do have it with those channels in there. So I like that HJC has been adding that into a lot of their helmets as of late. But all in, again, if you are sub $300 looking for a modular helmet with a lot of creature comforts that we have come to expect, and a pretty decent drop-down sun visor that gives you a little bit of a kick out in the front, and a pretty sleek shell design for aerodynamics at higher speeds, then you look no further than the i91. This is definitely one that you should be considering out there. HJC, again, if you're listening, just give us that ECE 2206. It's a very easy system to add in there. Even if you add 10 to 15 bucks to the price point, I don't think that's going to deter customers away. 4 shell sizes, DOT only, polycarb. Again, a lot of the features out there that people are looking for apart from that DOT only. But if you have more questions about the i91, click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews. Don't just take my word for it. Do your own research on your lid. And if you still have questions after that, if you're trying to figure out the sizing that's right for you, or even which option within HJC's modular line is right for you and your riding style, give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all-new HJC i91 helmet. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.